Hi, my name is Bobby Ann Austin. I closely follow any science policies that affect members of the Association for Research in Vision and Ophthalmology, which we just call ARVO. Recently, the most exciting thing that happened is the National Institutes of Health, also called NIH, released a new set of guidelines that govern the use of human embryonic stem cells and human-induced pluripotent stem cells in research projects. The NIH came up with these new guidelines after President Obama released a mandate that lifted restrictions on the use of human stem cells in federally funded research projects. He also mandated that the NIH come up with new guidelines that govern the ethical use of human embryonic stem cells. The NIH went through a three-stage process to finalize the human embryonic stem cell guidelines. In the first 30 days, they released a draft set of guidelines that the public had an opportunity to comment on in the next 30 days. And in the 30 days following that, NIH reviewed a total of 49,000 comments that were received and used those comments to come up with the final guidelines that are now in place. I would just like to go over three of the most important points in those final guidelines. First of all, NIH decided that any embryos that underwent pre-implantation genetic diagnosis and were found to not be suitable for medical use were deemed so valuable for pursuing human genetic studies to understand human genetic disease that they are able to be used in federally funded research projects. Secondly, the NIH created a stem cell registry, so any researchers that would like to apply for funds can go to one place to see which existing stem cell lines are eligible for use in federally funded projects. And finally, in response to feedback from the scientific community, any scientists who created stem cell lines prior to implementation of the new guidelines are able to request a committee at NIH to review the methods that they used to create the stem cells to determine whether they used ethical rules to create the stem cells and whether they can receive a rubber stamp from NIH that says they're eligible for federal funding in the future. So that just summarizes a little bit about the guidelines. ARVO as an organization is very excited about the new guidelines because they both allowed rules to be in place to cover the ethics and also enable scientific progress. Some exciting things have been going on in vision science, although a lot of the progress has actually been outside the United States because of the recent restrictions on the use of federal funds. First of all, recently a group of vision scientists were able to grow human stem cells on the back of contact lenses, and those contact lenses were placed in the eyes of individuals that had damage to their cornea. And within several weeks, the individuals who were wearing the contact lenses were able to recover some vision that they previously did not have. So that's just an example on the front of the eye. There are other projects that are being investigated as potential therapies in the back of the eye. Some specific examples I can think of are treatments for individuals who have had neural degeneration from diseases such as age-related macular degeneration or glaucoma. So I would just like to, after just summarizing some of those points, I would like to thank any ARVO members that helped me when I was preparing a response to the NIH draft human stem cell guidelines. I'd also like to thank the individuals at NIH that worked on finalizing the guidelines, and also like to thank members of Congress and the President of the United States for supporting scientific advancement.